because for you to do, I'm learning from this too. So if you can see right here, this is my list. I started my list, just this is on my iPad, just people that I talked to, just went through my page and wrote a bunch of names, circled a bunch that I needed to talk to, people that I wanted to talk to this week. And then this week, this is the list I sent you guys, or the spreadsheet. Hopefully it helped some of you. It helped me. I did it really because this is how I think. So I went through and we talked about touches and all that. So some of those people that were in that list, I put them in my spreadsheet. And if you notice, there's some people moving and like their access or what their interest level is and notes. So we talked about prospecting. I'm not going to tell you to do something. I will tell you, I'm going to show you that I do it too. I mean, this is not something I'm not doing either. I mean, I'm doing it as well. So it is, I like to teach in that way. I don't tell, I show and I do. So it's that way. It's also a learning experience for me. But, that way you see how I'm using it and who I've talked to, the contacts I've made in this is the last 4 days, I think. I've talked to 27 people. So, I mean, I need to get my numbers higher, but hey, it's a start. Okay, so is there any questions from last week? Or if you do, you can hit me up. Most of you by now should have my number. You can hit me up independently, and we can go over that, or you can put them in the chat, I guess, and we can go over that. But we talked about last week. We talked about the first step, which is prospecting. Today, we're going to talk about pitching and qualifying, which is the next step, right? So qualifying and presenting or pitching is the next thing. So qualifying in sales is why do we qualify? In sales, time is money and it is limited. Qualifying is the skill of identifying which prospects are most worth your time. Qualifying will also help you direct your pitch, taking the gold mine metaphor one step further. Qualifying tells us whether or not that shiny thing we see is a rock or gold. Now, if it is gold, qualifying then helps us figure out how to go about extracting the gold or how to move forward with the sale. From the list you guys made, if you notice in my list, let me show you again. If you notice in my list, I circled people. See those circles? See, I marked some people and I put check marks by others. And I think in others I have stars. Let me see right there, 3 stars on Leone. So the reason I put that is because I looked and I identified in my list. And by the way, those are just people from Facebook that I know either have and we're going to go over qualifying here a little bit as to how and who we're looking for. But in that list, I identified the people that are, in my opinion, the ones that would be most receptive, or at least would I can approach in a certain way, or I can then know how to pitch them and how to go about it. Now, from this book, How to Master the Art of Selling, and this Tom Hopkins, great book as well, as far as how to go over the psychology of it. He goes and he says, in selling, qualifying your prospect means finding out who they are, what they have, and what they need. Customers are more likely to buy your product if you can accurately identify their needs and paint a picture of how your product satisfies what's important to them. Qualifying is a process that helps us understand the prospect and makes our presentation more persuasive. In understanding that the next step from prospecting is qualifying, and then from qualifying is pitching, if you cannot pitch and cannot approach people, it's because you're cheating yourself in the prospect and you're cheating yourself in qualifying. You're not qualifying the right people, and therefore you don't know how to talk to those individuals. Meaning, you can't talk to a grandma or grandpa the same as you're going to talk like to a 20-year-old gamer. The same as you can't talk to a 30, 40-year-old the same as you're going to talk to 50, 60. You're just not going to. You can't talk the same way as you talk to a doctor as you do to a mechanic. You have to know how to talk. You need to know how to pitch, and you need to know how to the language and the verbiage to use when you're talking to different individuals. Okay, it is what it is. It's just the way it is. You need to know how to tailor your pitch, so then the approach or the presentation can take the direction you want it to take. So while I was preparing this training, I asked some of the leadership in the trade house, and who are we looking for in IML? So when we're looking at IML, we're looking at a trading organization that is also a multi-level marketing company. So we need to know who are the people we're going after. So identifying the qualifying prospects is huge, is really important. So knowing who we are talking to, who are we looking for, or the gold that we're going after is important. So these are the people, or this is what they told me was the best, or who we're looking for. Those that desire to get out of their current situation. Who is that? That's pretty much everybody, unless you're talking to a millionaire. And even though millionaires like that, they like to make more money. They like their money, make more money. So that is more of the multi-level marketing strategy. So most people are looking to get better, or get a better situation, or put themselves in a better situation than they're now. So that's kind of a blanket statement. Now, the next one I thought was pretty brilliant. It's tech savvy. There are people that are tech savvy naturally. Ones that you know how to explain how the computer works. And again, it's understanding that by qualifying the right people, then you get yourself a better chance of landing the close. People that are gamers, because we view the market as like a game. I thought, by the way, that was a brilliant comparison, or as far as who we're looking for. It was brilliant. And Mike said that, Miles. I love that, because we do look at the market as a game, and gamers understand how a game works, and how you can actually do exactly what somebody else is doing and actually profit from it. Professionals, people that are social media buffs. By the way, my list, a lot of people that I circled are professionals and people that are younger or big entrepreneurs. Social media buffs, meaning those people that are like Uber, that post all the time as to what they're doing, their lifestyle, and what's happening. So those are people, as you know, will help you as well, and will like this stuff as well, because it'll build their brand and help their brand. Those are people that are really careful with their brand and protect their brand and who they are. So again, that's a good prospect. Salespeople, naturally, that came from Chris. Salespeople, because this is especially, they understand sales is an easy thing to sell to them, as far as, hey, if you're making money, let's teach you how to have your money make more money for you. Crypto freaks, meaning those people that are with the crypto boom. Everybody is really aware of what's happening, or what's happened with crypto and where it's going. So you want to talk to those people. Then again, that's usually a younger crowd. And the natural entrepreneurs. I mean, we all know them. We know they are. We talk to the people that have been in MLMs for a long time, that have done certain whatever company they have done it in the past, or what have you. Either they have success or didn't. So those are good prospects, good people that you want to that are qualified for, depending on how you tailor your pitch. All these are tailored differently. So now, with that in mind, meaning that we now have prospected and we have qualified the people within our list, now we need to move into the presentation. The presentation of the pitch is key. And if you watch the video, I love that acronym that you need to have a system. You have to be systematic. The reason why we are systematic about doing things is because that way you're not managing an individual or person. You're managing a system, and all you're doing is plug in and going. And that acronym, that systems stands for saves yourselves time, energy, and money. I like saves you serious time, energy, and money, because it makes it so instead of you having to think through stuff all the time, it just happens automatically, systematic. When it comes to your presentation, the most adaptive are the steps in the sales cycle, meaning it will probably change most from sale to sale, because it relies on you properly qualifying your potential customer. The presentation is also where you will spend most of your time digging into and make the sale and introduce a potential customer. Your presentation should strive to be simple and clear, and must cater to the particular audience you are presenting to. You will not be effective if you are not aware of your customer situation and concerns. So, going back to qualifying, the qualification piece, if you did not qualify the person in the right, then your presentation is not going to be tailored to them, and you're not going to be speaking their language. You're not going to be speaking what they say and what they, you're not going to know what they want, because again, a 70-year-old has different needs and wants than a 20-year-old, and their savviness is different, and their understanding is different. So then you're not going to be, your presentation is going to be weak. Now, the steps of a presentation. Now, I'm gonna present the presentation, or at least show you what a presentation is. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to say, because it's going to be on you, and I'm going to leave that as homework for y'all. And we're going to come together and come up with some type of script that we can use as a whole so we can have a stronger approach. Because on a presentation, you want to have points that you're going to touch every time, but the verbiage around it will change based on who you're talking to. Now, on a presentation or a pitch, the first step, of course, is in an intro: who you are, what you're doing, who you're representing, whatever. And this is if you're talking to somebody that doesn't know you. In this, you're talking to somebody that knows you, so it's more warm. Of course, they're going to know you, and you go from there. The with them is what's in it for them, or what's in it for me. So I missed it. I forgot the M. My bad. WIFM is WIFM. WIFM. What's in it for me? People always buy whatever based on what they want, meaning what's in it for them. So you have to state a problem, you have to state a solution, and you have to transition. Now we need to take this right here and come up with a good, strong pitch. Okay. Now, this is an entire presentation when you're pitching the whole thing. Now, when you're doing the intro pitch, it's from this video, and I watched this video now probably 3-4 times. And there's a few things that Matt goes over this video that I like, and other things that I might not be in 100% agreement. But if it works, it works, and I don't need to redo it or reinvent the wheel, because Matt is a baller for a reason. And he goes over very important points in the video that I would probably word differently, but I like where he went with it. Okay. In the video, he goes over and he talks about the steps of a pitch, or how do you pitch somebody. And in it, the first thing he says is you gotta be in a hurry. Okay. Now, that I would probably word differently, and I would say you have to have a sense of urgency. It needs to show that what you're doing and what you're saying, there's an urgency behind it, because the pitch that he goes over is a really quick 30, 40-minute pitch over the phone, okay? Now, again, this is one that is an impactful, kind of in-your-face type of pitch. And he shows, hey, you have to be in a hurry, meaning you want to show urgency, because he says after that, I am just walking into a business meeting or whatever strategic meeting, which again, most of us, I don't know. I like to sell on truth. I don't like to, massage the truth whatsoever, which is still a lie, because most of the people we're talking to, unless you actually are walking to a meeting or are in a hurry, you can say that differently. You don't have to say I'm walking into a meeting, because if you're talking to a friend of you that knows you, they might call you like, sure, whatever, you're just going to go take a dump or whatever. But you know what I mean? It can come across as gimmicky, and that's why I didn't like that part. But still, urgency is important, because it shows that you're busy and that what you're saying there's an importance to it. So the second step, he says, is be clear the schedule. That one I would say, yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Because what he's saying there is, what are you doing at such and such time? And Chris just said, hey, what are you doing based on the time there's 8 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m. Eastern? What are you doing based on that on this day? What are you doing at 8:30 or whatever, based on what you're saying, what's happening? What are you doing? So you want to ask, so then you know if they're going to be somebody you want to pitch them right away, or you want to tailor your pitch based on whatever the answer they give you. If they tell you, hey, I'm not doing anything, I'll be home, I'm just going to be chilling, Netflix, or whatever you're doing, then you're going to move to the next step, which is building them up and adding the value. And then he says, hey, we're launching something pretty big. and with masterminding something is what he says in the video. And I want to show you what it is. Do you have a few minutes that you can check this out? For me, the way I've pitched it lately, because I'm talking to a lot of friends that I respect, people that are business people, I'm going at it with saying, hey, we're launching something pretty big, and it's pretty interesting. I found it extremely interesting, and I want your opinion on it. I want to know what you think, because I respect what you do, what you say, and I want to see what you say. And then that way it shows that, hey, I valued it enough to look at it, and I like you, and I love you, or I care for you, and I respect your opinion. I want you to tell me what you think. So that one, I like that approach, because it shows that there's urgency, and it shows that you're building them up because you know who they are, and you respect what they have to say. That's based on whoever you're talking to. If you're talking to somebody that, you want them to make money, say, hey, I know you would like to make money. Check this out. I want you to see it. Tell me what you think. And then let's talk more about it. At that point is when a question is going to happen. And that's what he says to take it away. They're going to say, what is it? Is it another multi-level marketing, whatever it is? That one is when you show the urgency. It's like, you know what? I don't have the time right now to explain it to you. It would take too long. I'd rather you see this and then tell me what it is. If it is for you, perfect. If it's not, that's okay. That's the takeaway. So on the takeaway is, when it comes to anything in life, just like any sale, if you sound like your breath stinks like a sale, they will call you on it and you're done. So you need to show that you really don't care if they're doing it or not, because if they do it perfect, if they don't do it, that's okay. You put it in the list and they didn't come, and that's okay. That's when you're going to find out on the follow-up. So the takeaway is that there's a science to it and there's a psychology to it, because everybody wants what they can't have. So if you take it away and say, it might not be for you. Maybe it's not something that you have the time. Maybe you're not, maybe you can't get it. I called a friend out that way, and it was like, what? I'm going to get it. Let me check it out. And by me kind of not insulting, but calling him out, like, hey, it might not be for you, but it's just maybe you're not going to get it. He said, bro, I'm going to get it. And he jumped on, and now I'm just following up with the guy. But it's funny because when I called him out, it was something that he goes, oh, wait. I'm going to get it. So the takeaway is you have to understand how to do it, but you have to do it in a way that doesn't come across as douchey or disrespectful. But maybe you say, hey, maybe it's not the time for you right now. I'll hit you up another time. If you don't have the time, you're a busy guy, that's cool. I had a friend of mine that came back to me in my list. Remember, you saw Angel? Angel, I love the guy. I've known him for many, many years. He's my cousin's husband. Very, very smart. And I kept going at him, and I said, and I told just yesterday, he said, hey, I've been really busy with my kids' volleyball. I'm sorry. And I said, bro, don't worry. That's okay. Maybe it's not the time for you right now. He goes, no. It's time. I just didn't make the time that day. And so he told me, and I said, okay, what time works for you? And he said, yeah, this weekend we have games again. So I said, hey, I'll check for you next week to see what's available, and then you can jump on. Again, you cannot sound like you're too desperate, because if you come across desperate, they're going to call you on it, guys. And they're going to call you. And once they call you on it, you're in trouble. So that is, let me see if I stop it. Now you can see me. Maybe you can see me. I don't know if you can see me yet. You can see me. You should be able to see me. But I haven't looked at the chat. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. But unmute yourself if you have any questions. But the homework I'm going to give you is, let me go over here, see if there's any questions that went out. Okay. Okay. I had the presentation done for a salesperson, and she thought it was too sales pitchy, and she lost interest. Of course, because if you come across as a salesperson, if you come across sales pitchy or salesman, they will catch it and they'll see it, they'll smell it. So you can't come across that way. You have to come across confident. Anything said with confidence is always bought. I tell you that because I know a lot of shady sales guys that are super uber confident, and they get away with a lot of stuff. But don't be shady. Just don't be shady. That's why I like telling the truth. I like telling people in that order with that pitch I give you guys, that order of pitch, meaning have urgency, ask what they're doing, and then tell them, hey, I'm really busy. I have a bunch of phone calls to make, maybe, or have a lot of people to talk to, which at that point is not a lie. Or I am, walking into something. I'm walking into the whatever game. Make it so there's urgency behind it, and you're not lying, because if you're lying, then the lie will be caught, and they'll catch you. They'll catch you on it. But come across confident, and people will buy that confidence. So from the report or the order of a pitch I give you, I would say from Zig Ziglar, one of the things Zig Ziglar said always, it was a good salesman or a salesperson will record themselves and have something written down. So you want to write down your pitch, and you want to go over things that want the order of the pitch that you want based on whatever they're going to tell you. So the order is simple. It's very, very simple. Who you are, what you're doing, meaning what is it, what's in it for them, what is the problem, what is the solution, and then you're going to transition. So in this case, you're going to be saying, hey, what are you doing at this time? I respect you. I admire you very much. I have something that I think you're going to like. I want to show you. It might be for you, might not be, but that's okay. It's only going to be a half hour of your time, maybe. Check it out. Tell me what you think. And then, does this time work for you? What have you? Have the times right, so you know when and when you're going to present it to them, so they can be ready, and you can then put it on your notes on your tracking sheet, so you can then track and follow up with them. At that point, you need to know that is the first touch, and know that it'll take a bunch of touches for you to get to them and get them to listen or to watch whatever, or get them connect to the conference call, connect to the video chat that Chris does every day. So with that in mind, the homework is going to give you is you need to go through your list and then qualify and then group your people. And then the smart thing might be to have people in groups, and then you're going to figure out a pitch that works for that group and go after that group based on their demographics or their qualifying whatever list they're on. Because remember, from that list, there's going to be people from church, people from business, people that are friends, people that are Facebook friends, people that you haven't talked to for a while. That's the other one that I'm running into. I've run into a few of those that I haven't talked to a few of them for a long time. And my first approach is not going to be, and it has not been, the pitch. It's been, hey, how you doing? What's up? How's life? Just back and forth. And it's good because it's connected me to a bunch of people that I care for and I haven't really talked to for a while. I've done a lot of that over the last few days. Just kind of, hey, telling them what I'm doing and that my situation, where I'm at, what's happening with my life. And eventually, I know over the next few days, I'm going to go back and present. But if you come across as a salesperson and all they see when you call and you haven't talked to them in 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden you're calling them and you're pitching them, then at that point, you're a salesperson. Nobody likes to be sold. Everybody likes to buy. But if you come across as a salesperson, which is going to be, if you do that, meaning you come to them and you show them that all you're making the phone call for is to sell them and pitch them something, they won't buy. So you need to have that relationship and foster that relationship in order for you to buy. So the qualifying piece is really important. So if it's a really warm contact for you, then go for the kill. Go for the invite right away. If not, then you want to build that a little bit more and then get to the invite. But mark it in your list as a touch, because eventually you need to get at least 6 touches minimum to give up on that person. So with that being said, questions? Did I cover everything, Mr. Christian?
That was amazing. I wrote down so many notes myself. I had just screenshotted everything actually. But man, thank you so much again, Heriberto. I hope you guys were able to get a lot of value from that. Now, this is module 2. We're gonna have module 3 next week. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of every module, we're gonna give away, or not give away. We're gonna give you guys some homework. So Heriberto, go ahead and show them what some tasks are for this week.
The homework is simple. You need to go over that presentation I gave, and let me pull it up again and share my screen. So if you didn't take the notes, you did. You can see it. So let me go here and there. Okay. Now you should be able to see my screen, right? Can you?
No.
No, crap. Okay. Here, here, here. Oh, there. Okay. I need to stop it. What the heck? Stop. There.
If you're sharing one screen but we can't see it, just stop sharing and then you can pick the screen you want to share.
Okay. Now I'm in Zoom. Start broadcast. There we go. Okay. Is this one, which is this one right here. So when it comes to the pitch, this is the order, guys. This is it. Screenshot this. And then the next one I'm going to put it in a little bit. So remember, a pitch, and change that with that WIFF to WIFM. What's in it for me? This is what the customer wants. So intro, who you are, what you're doing, what's in it for them, meaning like you want to find out what the heck they're doing. And then you're going to state a problem, you state a solution, and you're going to transition. And then this is from what Matt says. Watch that video. And then go through these steps right here. You need to have some urgency. You need to schedule. So find out what the heck they're doing. Build them up like, hey, I care for you. I know what you're doing. I want to get your opinion. And then you want to transition, taking it away. So that is, the homework is for you guys to, let me see right here, right there. The homework is for you guys to write your pitch. Write your pitch, write it down, type it down, and it needs to become like we should be able to shake you up in the middle of the night, wake you up, and you should be able to pitch it right away. Like you should be able to do this usually. So your pitch has to just become a natural thing. So write your pitch down, have it ready. So then next time we're not gonna then you're gonna, after that, of course you have to practice it with somebody. You're going to get your, whoever your mentor is, you want to do that in a group, or I know the people in Dallas, you can get to the trade house. You guys want to pitch, you want to do role playing, so you can then practice your pitch. And I'll tell you, you're going to mess it up a bunch of times until you finally get it, until you get the order. It is what it is. So go.
One thing that Heriberto used to do whenever he was training me in sales, whenever I was here working for the first time in PR, was exactly what he's saying. He'd be like, all right, you know what? You come up here and do your pitch. And you'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to say? Like, I don't know, because it builds pressure. But guys, if you want to like sharpen your swords as a skilled sales professional, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the practice. He used to do this every morning with the team, so to help everybody role play, to get everybody seasoned on their pitch, so that whenever you say it, you're not stumbling all over yourself, and it just flows. It just comes naturally. Another thing that I did whenever I was selling timeshare being the hardest thing I've ever sold, period, that I made the most money from. I've made millions selling timeshare, and it's a hard pitch. I have 1 hour to talk to somebody who doesn't like me, doesn't know me. They're just in there to get their gifts and go home. And I have 1 hour to convince them to fall in love with me, which is, that was always the easy part. And then to convince them to give me $20,000 in 1 hour. And I did it all day long. And I ran circles around the guys. Why? Because every single morning I was practicing my pitch. I was role playing. I was in front of other people. I was like, hey, you come here. Let me just practice with you. All right. So then I just go at it. It's like you're an actor. Pretend you're an actor. Okay. Treat this like an acting career, but obviously be genuine. But practice voice inflections, practice hand gestures. Okay, every time we do this, it just gets your eyes are looking at my hands and you're paying attention a little bit more. You don't want to overdo it either, but you want to have enough to where it gets the message through across. And whenever you are speaking with your hands, it makes you confident. Because if I was just speaking like this, like, hey guys, like I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys about Forex and all kind of cool stuff, you have to be like, guys, I'm going to teach you how you can make money off your phones. You see the difference? Practice that.
Correct. So homework is simple, very simple. Just practice your pitch, write your pitch down. One of the things I did, let me see if I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it here on my phone. Let me see. When I first started selling in solar in California, there it is, yeah. So I don't know if you can see it there. This right here is my Cali pitch, and it's on my phone. This is the pitch that I use to sell solar. And the way I wrote my pitch, and then I had Siri do this. What is it? You do this, the thing with your phone that you go like that, and then Siri talks, whatever it is. I think I have it muted. But I had Siri just repeat my pitch for me. And I repeated, and I learned that thing like I knew it. I mean, back of my hand. That's what's going to happen with this pitch. But understand that, the order is very simple because there's 2 pitches on this. There's the initial pitch to invite them to the meeting or the one-on-one or those webinars. And then there's going to be a different presentation. And that's when, and I know that Chris went over this, you need to become a good presenter. We will go over that as well as to how to be a good presenter, how to present the vision and what this is going to go. But the initial pitch is that getting them to the meeting or getting them to the webinar. That pitch has to have impact, has to be quick, 30 seconds to a minute or so to get to the point fast. But then we're going to go over the second part of the pitch, which is the presentation pitch, which is a lot more detailed, and it'll take some more practicing. But the pitch we're going over right now is how to invite, how to build people up, and how to get them to the call. And then after that, of course, we're going to go over how to present, how to overcome objections. But that is more in depth. And this is where you're going to spend. This is the meat of everything. But your homework, write your pitch, practice your pitch, and go through the prospects you have on your list and start inviting and pitching. That's all I got.
Simple. So we want to keep it simple. We want to keep it very, very easy to comprehend. I don't want you guys to think that sales is complicated or anything like that. As a matter of fact, the more fresh you are, like the less you know, but the more excited you become, that alone will help you like way better than knowing everything. Excitement, just practice excitement. Like one thing that I do too, and I told you guys this before, is sometimes if I'm a little low on energy, I'll run around, I'll get some juices flowing, because you want to make sure that when you're in front of the customer, you're 100%, and you got to give 100% all the time. Maybe drink a Red Bull, drink energy drink. Not condoning you guys to drink a lot of sugar, but I'm just saying you have to be excited, because if you're not, that excitement is not going to transfer, and you're not going to get the sell. So you have to really make sure that you practice your tonality. Tonality goes a long way. Just tonality alone. If you could, practice your voice inflections, tell people, look, guys, like, I really want to help you. Please, like, let me help you. Like, and then, bring it back to excitement, like different things like that. There's a million things to watch. I will recommend watch Straight Line Persuasion on YouTube. It's free. And that's by the Wolf of Wall Street himself. Now, some of the stuff on there used very cautiously, because he was a master manipulator. You don't want to manipulate your people. You want to make sure that everything is always done with the right intention. And if you guys do things with the right intention, I promise you, your business will blow up just for the fact that you were honest with people. I tell people all the time, look, once you get started, because then the next question once they enroll is, how much do I put in? The minimum. You put in the minimum, because odds are you're going to lose the first account. So if you're going to take a loss and learn a very important lesson, take a $10 lesson instead of $100, $500, $1,000, or $5,000 lessons like I've seen some people do. Prep your people. They're going to appreciate it. They're going to be like, so you mean I'm going to lose the first account? Yeah, but you're only going to lose $10. Okay, that's fair. Let's go. It's something that simple. And it's honesty versus you, hey, yeah, sign up. How much do I put? I'll put whatever you want. And then they put whatever they want. They lose it because they have no experience, and then they blame you. Dude, why didn't you tell me like not to put that much? You see? Intention. But I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you guys got value from this. I appreciate all of y'all for hopping on. Like always, we're going to be running Module 3 next week. So we'll be getting the first module finalized. I know we had some problems with the file. It was way too big. We're trying to keep them short. This one we'll also be working on to finalize too for everybody who wasn't on these live calls. And next week, make sure you tell your people, tell your teams, tell everybody we're going to do a sales training module 3. Get them on here. 90% of your success is showing up. Heriberto, you're muted. I know you were going to drop some bombs.
We're going to repeat them anyways. So no, that is a cycle for a reason. So It'll be repeated. We'll go over it, and they'll get meatier and better because we'll just get refining and keep refining and refining and refining. But the one thing you need to know in sales is all about repetition. Repetition over and over and over and over and over again. So we will repeat it. We'll go over it again for people that are new, people that are not, people that know. You get this information in your brain, and we're going to repeat it. So we'll go back to it.
Exactly. And guys, it really is just repetition over and over and over. You guys have seen my calls. You've been on my calls. Get on my calls if you haven't been on my calls so that you can learn what I say and you can say what I say and you can have the same results. It's monkey see, monkey do. Very simple, right? Repetition, repetition, repetition. I've been doing presentations since I was 15 years old. So sure, it might come as second nature to me, but I practiced every single day. One thing that they told me whenever I was selling timeshare, because the way timeshare works is they bring in, we have a marketing crew that goes out and brings the people to us. And the way that they do it, just so you guys know, if you go to any baseball games, football games, mall, any place that has a car, a bike, something that says fill this out and you can win, that's timeshare. The way that they filter them out is you put in your information. They do soft credit hits on every person. They filter out the people who are qualified to buy. They tell them, hey, you want a free gift or a free this and a chance to win that. They show up. They get the free gifts. But in between that, the catch is they have to sit through a 90-minute presentation with somebody like myself and listen to something about, you know, whatever. And like, honestly, that's how it works. But whenever you were waiting, when there was no customers or nothing like that, I was unemployed. You know, I used to tell my boss sometimes, like, man, you know, like, I want to make some money. He's like, well, why aren't you on a presentation right now? And I was like, well, you know, I'm just waiting for more people. He's like, no, there's people in the lobby. Go out there, go get you a person. If you're not in front of a prospect, you're unemployed. You're not going to get paid. Commission's not being in front of a prospect, presenting. I'm still presenting, guys. I'm presenting IML. I'm presenting Forex. I'm presenting how to make money through your phone. It's still presenting. Sales is literally all about presenting, repetition, doing it over and over and over and over and over and over, knowing how to prospect, putting your people together, presenting, following up, closing, repetition, repetition, repetition. Thank you guys so much for being on this call. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Heriberto, again, and we will talk next week.